Aloha mai o kalani kawika alaneo. Ka ko'o mai o kalani. Mai kalaneo amamao. O mai kalima o nalani ke ola o na ali. Alohe, alohe, aloha mai. Aloha mai o kalani kawika alaneo. Ka ko'o mai o kalani. Mai kalaneo amamao. O mai kalima o nalani ke ola o na ali. Alohe, alohe, aloha mai. Aloha mai o kalani kawika alaneo. Ka ko'o mai o kalani. Mai kalaneo amamao. O mai kalima o nalani ke ola o na ali. Alohe, alohe, aloha mai. And aloha.
Aloha.
The Hawaiian tradition, when someone says aloha to you, means hello and goodbye, what most people believe it to be, right? But the beauty of this tradition, and I am so honored and feel so blessed to be here today, to be sharing some of this with all of you. I just am thrilled. But the beauty of the Hawaiian tradition that most people are not aware of is that it is about family. It is much more than just the beaches and what people see as grass skirts, but it is about this tradition of family. It's tradition about maintaining the harmony of the family, but the family is all inclusive of everyone and everything. It is not just our blood family. It's not just our friends. That is part of it. They are part of it, but it's the land, it's the aina, it's the nature. It is how we are all interconnected on this planet, in this world. And it is the belief that whatever I do to you, I do to myself. And so we are family. And we are connected through our hearts. That's why this is called the way of the heart. And so when someone says to you, aloha, they are greeting you, but they are also saying, I see our connection. I connect my heart to yours. I connect to the love that is within each of us, that is what brings us together. And I honor you for this amazing, incredible being that you are. And so, I hope that you're going to kind of say aloha back in the same way, seeing the same thing in me. So, maybe we try that one more time. Aloha! Aloha! Mahalo. Mahalo is thank you in Hawaiian. And yes, we've got a little bit of time here to share a little bit, have much to share. And it all starts with this word aloha. The Hawaiian people live on a small series of islands. And for them to be able to maintain their survival on these islands thousands of years ago, they had to find a way to create a system that would help them to maintain harmony of the family. We live in a world of duality. There's always going to be conflict, isn't there? But do we let the conflict tear us apart? Do we let the conflict destroy the family? Or do we find ways to deal with the conflict, to learn from it, to grow from it, and to find peaceful resolution through it? And that's what the Hawaiians have done. And that's what makes, for me, my belief that this is such a unique and incredible tradition. Because they found simple and peaceful ways to find resolution of conflict. And one of the main ways was this system called living the aloha spirit. And aloha is not saying hello and goodbye and everything I just shared. It's a verb. It's vital, it's alive. It is about how we interact, how we see the world and interact. And what I'd like to share with you is that there is a book. We are so fortunate in this day and age. You know, for many, many years, like a lot of indigenous traditions, they were very private and protected because so much has been taken from them over the last how many hundreds of years, like the Native Americans and other indigenous traditions. So a lot of them have gotten very protective and hidden their deep esoteric knowledge. The Hawaiians are sharing it, as are other indigenous traditions, because they know for us to create this world that we all choose, this world of love and a more peaceful world, they have to be sharing their knowledge. That goes back thousands of years. And so they are. And there's now books that families are writing of the history of stories that were told to them by their great-grandparents and generations before. And there's one called The Tales of the Night Rainbow that comes out of Molokai. And one of the things they speak about was the time before all the invasions that happened that kind of created caste system and a lot of what we see as Hawaii today as far as hierarchy and again, a lot of rules and regulations. But originally, it was this very simple practice of aloha. And one of the ways that they would help the children to learn it is when a child could understand, they shared a parable with them. And it is just briefly, aloha is being a part of all, and all being a part of me. When there is pain, it is my pain. When there is joy, it is mine also. I respect all that is, as part of the Creator and part of me. I will not willfully harm anyone or anything. When food is needed, I will only take my need and explain why it is being taken. And the earth, the sky, the sea are mine to care for, to cherish, to protect. This is Hawaiian. This is aloha. Very simply. They believed that if they were going to be building a home or something and they needed rocks and such to build it, there was no need for it to be heavy and hard. All they would do is they would go and speak to a rock and say, would you like to be part of my home? Are you okay if I move you to be part of, to create this foundation? If the rock said no, they left it and they went somewhere else. If the rock said yes, they found it was easy to leave it because the rock was working with them. That's aloha. Very simple way of living. Very practical way of living. But simple and practical is not always easy to live by, isn't it? Especially with a lot of the conditioning that we are brought up in this Western world of separation rather than inclusiveness and connection. I just want to talk a little bit more briefly about aloha. One of a kahuna in Hawaii said this about the fundamental Hawaiian code of ethics. Come forward, be in unity and harmony with your real self, God and mankind. Be honest, truthful, patient, kind to all life forms and humble. He also stated that to the Hawaiians of old, aloha meant God in us. So, I believe that it is so important when we see all of there's so much violence that we see in the world right now. It's such a chaotic and crazy time. Yet now we have this way of living that is being shared with us. To be able to see maybe there's a different way. One of the things I really love to do is, as Jennifer said, I work a lot with women. Women are the nurturers of the family. So if we can help women to have a better sense of themselves and awareness and a way of living, they can help the children. And it's to help the young girls too. So in the Hawaiian system, they work with aloha. They also work with something else that I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to talk about today. It'll have to be another time. But it's something called ho'oponopono. Has anybody heard that word before? There's a modern form of it out. But it means to make right. And this was one of their most sacred values, ancient practices, ritual. And it was also a way that they helped to bring harmony in conflict, where they would come together and share. Each person would share what was that they had issue with. Then there would be an elder there to hold the energy. And it could take as long as they wanted to have to find resolution, for each person to speak their truth. But at the end, they knew they had to find resolution through forgiveness. And if one chose not to, they had to leave the community. They would be shunned and have to leave the community, because if there's conflict within the community with two people, it will spread out and affect the rest of the community. Aloha cannot live where there is anger or hate. It was as simple as that. And people realized that, and they understood it. So those are the two main aspects of this tradition that is the foundation. What I'd like to talk more in detail a little bit about today and share with you is the way that I have been learned and given the tools to help to bring this way of living out, and that is through what's a dance form, but it's much more than a dance form. It is through a spiritual dance, a sacred dance, that is an ancient form of storytelling. I think it's probably unique to the Hawaiian Islands. I don't know any other indigenous tradition that works, that uses movement as storytelling. And just to give you a little bit of a background, where do I start? What time do I have to be done by? What time do I have to be done by, Sally? Okay. Oh, gotta get moving then. Okay. But they did not, the Hawaiians did not have a written language until the missionaries came. It was a purely oral tradition. And the way that they maintained their tradition was through their stories, in their songs, in their mele, and through the hula. So hula embodies, hula is the glue, it's the heartbeat of the Hawaiian people, because it embodies everything that is Hawaiian about this culture. So it is more than just a dance. And I could go on and talk about it. But the easiest way to experience hula is to see it. So I would like my girls to come up and join me now. We're going to share a dance with you that there is English. Halau Pu'uwai O Aloha, who created this, it's in Hawaiian, but he was nice enough to put the English translation on top of it, so you can hear a little bit of what's going on. But this gives you an idea of what hula is about in storytelling, and how there's lessons in these dances and things to be learned. This talks about the cycles of life. It talks about a flower. It's actually this flower right here, the Hula flower. And it talks about how it grows high up on the cliffs, and the rain will bring it down into the ocean, to dance in the ocean. And the rains, as they come down, they go into the ocean, or they go on the land, and then they're evaporated, and it's carried back up to then come back down as rain again to feed and nurture the land, the plants, all of life. So there's constantly new life, rebirth, even just through this rain, which is also considered, in this case, rain is symbolic of mana, which is spiritual energy. So this dance is also symbolic of the child, the flower, the Lehua blossom is like a child. Now the child comes into this world and dances and plays in the waters of life. And in that experience, they get older, they meet someone, they come together, they form a new life. That life comes down. So there's no beginning or no end. Life is all about cycles. And so that's what this dance is about, teaching us about everything is cycles in this life. There is no beginning, no end. So if you would play that first track.
Hey, hey. The waters of the sea evaporate and become the rain. And the rain falls to the earth and brings new life. This song is for you, my royal child. And your name is Kaleo
and Evelyn. Thank you. Okay, just because we don't have a whole lot of time left, again, how can I give you the fullest experience of this tradition as possible? And again, to experience it is the easiest way, in this case with the Hula, and I would like to now share a song with you. This was also written by Halau Pu'uwai. It's to a melody that you are very familiar with. It's universal. He took the melody and he took the essence of the song. But you'll see how the Hawaiian people just think a little differently. As you will hear this translation, this is not, it's to the melody of Amazing Grace. But it is not Amazing Grace. It is called Aloha Nui, the Great Love. And what he did is he took the melody, he took the essence, he wrote the song, The Great Love, then he translated it into English, and I'll be singing it in both Hawaiian and English. And it will give you a little bit of an idea, a little bit more of an idea of how the Hawaiians actually see the world coming from this place of aloha and love. Taking the energy. That is aloha. Mahalo nui loa again for having us here today. I'm very honored, and I look forward to hopefully getting to know all of you better. Aloha.